You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
If you work in the safety field, which I think most of you are listening to me, then I got something that should get your attention. Injury rates can improve while the total cost of the injury stays painful. A gap between the matrix and what the operation feels, So you may know it as the black line, blue line theory. Well, that's what I'm going to talk about in this episode. Today, I'm grading my own work. Last year, some of you downloaded my eBook, which is Top 10 EHS Challenges for 2025. Now it's 2026. Happy New Year to you all. I made predictions about what the shape and what EHS should look like in just our industry, what it should look like in 2025. So now I'm going to compare those predictions with what I actually saw so that you guys could see how well I did. You need to, one thing. So I'll tell you where, I was right, where I was partly right, where I could change if I rewrote the book, stuff like that, all right? So stay tuned, and we're going to have a very, very good, informative episode. So stand on by, and we'll get this thing started.
Sheldon Primus.
Welcome to the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus, where we blend safety smarts with business brilliance and a pinch of Sheldon's signature wit. Whether you're a safety pro, a fresh-faced consultant, or just safety curious, get ready for a show that'll educate, entertain, and elevate your safety game. Let's dive into the art of consulting with your safety Sherpa himself, Sheldon Primus.
This episode is powered by Safety FM.
All right, well, welcome to everybody. Happy New Year. It's 2026. Sounds so odd saying, don't it? So as you could tell in my intro, I'm going to truly start working with you guys to see how I did last year towards this year. But I can't be remiss into welcoming those of you who have not met me yet. My name is Sheldon Primus. I'm the host of this show, Safety Consultant Podcast. See, I changed the name. Just like that, the name has changed. Safety Consultant Podcast. So I work with these EHS professionals who want to be consultants, your trainers, your people who are safety culture strategists. That's, I like that straight, safety culture strategist. I help you with that stuff. I help you with the business of being a safety professional. So let's do this thing the right way, because I also want to let you guys know a nice big disclaimer. There is a disclaimer to all this, and one of the biggest things that I do need to tell you is there's a time lag between some of my data and what I could substantiate, and some of the things that are going to be just you're not going to get this information until maybe next year or the year after, depending on Bureau of Labor Statistics, depending on OSHA. So I just want to at least let you guys know that one. There is a time delay in some of my predictions. Just want to get that out there. So I am going to give you guys my recap, if you would, for the best available confirmed data, plus other real-world signals from companies like Liberty Mutual. I'm using some Liberty Mutual data from the Workplace Safety Index from 2024, most recent. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS. You'll hear me say BLS a few times. BLS has a couple of index out there. One of them that I am going to use is going to be the index that is related to fatality data. So I'm going to use that one because honestly, it's one of the biggest things we got to deal with, right? So census for for fatal occupational injuries, that is a BLS data set. So I'll be using that. You're going to hear me say ICS, which is Industrial Control Systems, like your SCADA systems and stuff that the computer guys are operating. You'll hear me say OT, which is Operational Technology, IT, Informational Technology, maybe even PTW, permission or your permit to work. LADO, of course, lockout, tagout, Learning Management System, LMS. AR and VR, virtual reality is VR, and AR is augmented reality. That's for training models. I'll even throw in some AI and IoT, which is artificial intelligence and information of things. I'll talk about the injury tracking application. Those of you guys who are under OSHA's jurisdiction, you guys got to do that right now. Your ITA, you hear me say that. And I'll even talk about survey of occupational injuries and illnesses, which is a BLS product, SOII. So you're going to hear those terms in IIF, which is injury, illness, fatality. That's a BLS one. I'll even throw in a few terms of total recordable injury rates. Those of you students that are listening to me now know I've talked about TRIR in all our classes, right? Days away from work cases. FTE, which is full-time equivalent hours. That's OSHA's, the way that they measure the kind of workforce that they do. So I'm going to mention stuff like that, even a workplace safety index from Liberty Mutual, global supply chain pressure index from the New York Fed supply chain indicators, stuff like that. You're going to hear me say, so I'm going to give you guys all those acronyms right now so that you're going to be aware of. There's some agencies I'm going to talk about. CISA, which is Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Center for Disease Control, CDC. U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA. And Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services, APHIS. And the Feds already told you guys about. I mentioned some ASSP data. National Bureau of Economic Resource, ASSP, American Society of Safety Professionals. Forgot to put that in, right? All right, so that's some of the stuff that I'm going to mention today. So I want to make sure that you guys have that information. And again, there is a delay in some of this stuff. So I want to make sure that you guys will know that, I'm grading myself with the curve. All right, so here are some of the things that or at least here's my scaling. I will call something a hit if I truly can say that there's clear signs to show that what I predicted actually happened. Partial is something I'm going to use to just say that it looks like I hit a portion of this prediction, but maybe not exactly. Mixed is going to be where, there's at least moving parts to it. It's something that is going to be where it's going to have certain nuances. So I'm going to call that mixed. And then evergreen is something I'm going to call where it's constantly going. It's something that is always in action. So hit, partial, mixed, and evergreen. Those are the terms you're going to hear me say. All right, so let's give you guys a snapshot of at least some of the things that I talked about. So I'm going to just give you a quick kind of a hit or miss thing, but this is the 10 categories that I went over. Number 1 was decreased regulatory scrutinies and changes. I'm going to score myself mixed on this one. All right, there is in some areas that we do have some scrutiny, however, meaning transparency, however, not in all cases. So I'm giving myself a mixed score on that one. Climate change and environmental sustainability. I'm going to give myself a hit on that one. I nailed it. Workplace safety and health for age of remote work is one of the other ones, number 3. I'm giving myself a direct hit on that one too, because of some of the resources that I found. Number 4, I said advanced technology and automation. I got a partial on this one. Some things are working, some things are not. Supply chain vulnerabilities. There are some things with the supply chain that I had no idea would happen. Those of you in the U.S., you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to give myself a partial on this one. Next one that I'm going to, number 6, was rising importance of mental health. So that one is another one that I'm going to give myself a direct hit on, meaning that nailed it. Cyber security threats and industrial control systems. Those are those SCADA systems I just told you guys about. I do have some good data that says, hey, I'm not wrong on this one. There's other agencies looking out for this, so I'm going to call this one a hit. And that was number 7. Number 8, evolving needs for training. I'm going to again give myself a hit on this one. There's a lot of people who need some training, and there's more and more complexity to training. So I think this one was a hit for myself on this one. So I didn't do too bad. Number 9, I said one of the trends would be public health preparedness and biosecurity. Hit. You sink my battleship. Some of you younger people look that one up. Leadership and cultural change. This is where I had to create a new category, and I call it Evergreen. So that means that this category is going to be one of those things that is an ongoing fix. It's a going concern for your agencies. So I am giving myself Evergreen on that one. So again, when I say Evergreen, it's ongoing. It's something that we're going to have to keep working on. So those are my 10 things that I predicted in 2024 to be the things that will come up for 2025. We've gone through 2025. My data set is not complete yet, but at least I'm giving it a try. So when we come back, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you a little bit more in detail about what we did. So just hang tight, and I'll be right back with you.
We'll be back with more of Sheldon Primus and the Safety Consultant Show in just a moment.
Ever catch yourself thinking, I could do this on my own? If you're a safety officer with real-world skills, you don't have to wait for permission to build your freedom. On Saturday, January 31st, I'm hosting Safety Consultant 101, a free live workshop. In 2 hours, I'll help you package your expertise into a service clients will pay for and set pricing boundaries so you don't get stuck doing free advice forever. Register now at safetyconsultant101.com. Let's build your freedom.
We now return to the Safety Consultant Show. Once again, here's Sheldon Primus.
All right, gang, I am back. So let's go over some of these things. All right, so my first thing that I talked about was just increased scrutiny on what I called scrutiny, so on just regulatory stuff. So scrutiny, I'm going to have to break down into 3 basic things: enforcement, rulemaking, and data transparency. So currently in OSHA, and I'm going to just do this from like the OSHA mindset, all right? There has been some more data transparency, specifically with record keeping. The OSHA website still tells you a whole bunch of data related to injuries and illnesses. BLS has some data on injury, illness, fatalities. So there's some more things there. Heat has been one of the things that has been, and this kind of goes into number 2 as well. But OSHA actually started doing some rulemaking and on the heat, but enforcement has been down. So this one is one of those mixed ones. So there is an order from President Trump in the U.S. that says that he's looking for less regulation. So for every new rules, they have to be some old rules being taken out. If you look at the OSHA budget is now looking to update existing standards. So there are not going to be any new standards, not many. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and say for this one, it is it's a mixed one for me. Next theme that I had that I talked about was on the impact of the environment, right? And heat, extreme heat, and operational resilience is one of the big things that happened last year, especially with the heat stress thing. So there's a couple of things, and if you guys had the ebook, I told you, different ways of preventing or helping yourself out for each topic. But hopefully you've started a heat plan, exposure control plan for heat, telling supervisors and being more aware of your wet bulb tests and everything else. So water, shade, rest, acclimatizations, emergency response, building that into your schedule, stuff like that. That's the stuff that I was just telling you guys to be aware of. Next one was I talked about remote work and mental health. That one I'm saying is a hit because there have been a lot of things that we've really been talking about with mental health, and want to make sure that you have a employee assistance program available for your workers. And if you're a consultant, that's one of the things that I would love for you to start talking to your clients about, making that available. But that topic has really, really started to it's blossoming, if you would, because we're thinking ergonomics at home, the blurred lines between when people shut off of work and when they do start working, isolation, because they're going to be stuck in home and not in the office, so they don't get to talk to people as much. Screen time, so stress on the eyes, stress on the bodies, fatigue. So there's a lot of things that went on with that one, especially in healthcare and workplace violence prevention programs that are out there. OSHA started a new standard last year on this, so that's why I gave myself a hit on that one. Next thing I talked about was the security for cybersecurity and tech security. We have to build some resilience, and the resilience part has been really hard for some agencies. to build. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of the data set I talked about earlier. So let's go ahead and mention. I'm scrolling up here. I took some notes. So let's see. New York Fed. Here's the supply chain thing. Oh, I'm not up to that. Here's the technology part. So 2024, OSHA's data set on 300A logs, 300 and 301s. We can't really see the 300s and 301s, but we can see the 300As. That's truly been large-scale data reporting and analytics that came from that. While Liberty Mutual, all the stuff that you're going to see from all the data set that you were going to get or have been getting from Bureau of Labor Statistics, that's the stuff that I'm talking about. So honestly, did good on that one. All right, so let's also make sure that I mention another data set that I forgot to mention before. All right, scrolling down, there we go. So with the mental health, there's an HR 2531 from the Congress, and it's sought for OSHA, federal OSHA, to issue workplace violence prevention standards for healthcare and social services. So I didn't mention that before, so I just wanted to put that in there. CISA released 32 industrial control system advisories in April of 2025. So 32, that's the cyber threat ones. It's been a bunch of that one. Supply chains, it's number 5. Kind of going round robin here for data. New York Fed's supply chain pressure index registered negative 0.29 in April of 2024, which is below average. And that supply chain thing I told you that I knew something would happen. I just didn't know what, because I'm thinking pandemic, but honestly, it wasn't pandemic, it was tariffs. So that behavior for procurement and everything else was really challenged last year. So let's see. Evolving need for training. I'm down to 8. I went kind of out of order, so forgive me, guys. It seems right now for training that it's not really validating competency as much as it is, or I should say, just not training for content. You want to make sure people understand, and you want to make sure that it's going to be instituted correctly. So if you're looking at OSHA's guidelines, or let's just say their most frequently cited standard, the way that I proved that I did really well on this one is I just looked for what kind of standards was cited the most. And HAZCOM, ladders, respiratory protection, lockout, tagout, machine guarding, all of those have a training component. So it looks like even OSHA is saying you got to work with the individuals, train them more, and then you're going to avoid some of these. That's the correlation I made on this one. Public health preparedness and biosecurity. Honestly, this one was a hit for me because even the CDC published May 6th an interim guideline on how to reduce influenza in the workplace. That's their public health. And then talking about other viruses in the workplace. So they're looking for some sort of security there. Number 10 was the Evergreen one that I talked to you guys about, which was leadership and cultural change. So with the leadership model, most of us are going to be talking about the safety management system or mention something about that. That's going to truly be up to leadership to constantly look to see what they could do better to take leadership over safety and health, as well as the regular organization, but then also how to get employees involved. That's where you get your culture talk. All right, so I gave you guys a little round robin of a few things that I mentioned in my predictions that were hits, that were mixed. I gave you some data related to that. Honestly, I don't know if I'll do another one of these in top 10 predictions because it was kind of hard for me to think it through. However, I think that we should really start thinking about for ourselves how to start predicting things as best as we can, looking for leading indicators for safety. So maybe employee action plan utilization, get some sort of rate for that. Hazard reporting rates, near miss stuff. Those are the things that you're going to want to really push your clients to, get them to understand that, honestly, you should start looking for proactive things, leading indicators, not lagging indicators. What is next? So honestly, the last thing that I really wanted to tell you guys about is I want you to start thinking for yourselves, how can I get my clients to start thinking of leading indicators rather than lagging indicators? How do I start looking to ways to predict different client and different types of behaviors that I'm seeing in the workplace? For those of you that aren't consultants yet, I had to stop myself there, and because some of you are planning to be consultants, so just want to at least let you know that that's some of the things you should be thinking of to help for 2026. All right. I do have a couple of things I wanted to let you guys know that I'm doing. Some of you needed some help with proposals. That's one of the biggest things that I've seen. People saying, hey, Sheldon, do you have a proposal template? Do you have a template? Do you have anything on proposals? So I do. Go to safety.contractors, and if you have some sort of system that messes with you and you can't do that, then go to safetyconsultant.ai. All right, so that's the two different domains, safetyconsultant.ai or safety.contractors. And when you get there, whichever one works for you, I gave you guys two different links there, but whichever works for you, you're going to get a free proposal mini course, and you're going to get a template, one of my templates on proposals. So again, this is the need that I hear often about how do you do proposals. Answer that with a free proposal mini course and a template. So you go to safety.contractors or safetyconsultant.ai. And one last thing, I am also doing my safety consultant workshop. So it's Safety Consultant 101. I missed last year, but I've done these in previous years. And it's a 2-hour event instead of 4 hours like before. I'm condensing it because some of you don't have 4 hours to give on a Saturday, so I hear you. So I condensed it down to 2 hours, and we're going to really just focus on how to get your business going. And it's going to be a live event. So you're going to have me live. It's 2 hours, but it's really going to stretch a little longer because I'm giving us a break in the middle, and I want to make sure I catch up the break time, and then I give you a little time for networking earlier. So on the event page, you'll see 3 hours, but the content is going to be 2 hours worth of that. All right, so to get there, safetyconsultant101.com. And that's a free event, so register today so you guys can make it. And that's going to be on January 31st of this year, 2026. All right, so giving you guys a lot today. I graded myself on my predictions from last year's ebook. That's it. Go get them.
Just about hard hats and caution signs. It's about business smarts too. Thanks for joining us on the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus. Until next time, stay safe, stay savvy, and keep consulting like a boss. Go get 'em. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast or broadcast are those of the host and its guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within the past hour, only examples. It should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the positions of the company. No part of this podcast or broadcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic recording, or otherwise without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast or broadcast, Sheldon Primus.
This episode has been powered by Safety FM.
Ever catch yourself thinking, I could do this on my own? If you're a safety officer with real-world skills, you don't have to wait for permission to build your freedom. On Saturday, January 31st, I'm hosting Safety Consultant 101, a free live workshop. In 2 hours, I'll help you package your expertise into a service clients will pay for and set pricing boundaries so you don't get stuck doing free advice forever. Register now at safetyconsultant101.com. Let's build your freedom. You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.